when it comes to the aftermath, you started to realize there was this mismatch, and unfortunately, the person, and I'll say unfortunately because it created another layer. You had, excuse me, you had an ex-client, so so there was a bigger challenge. Um, when you once you hit that rock bottom and you started on the upslope, do you remember what either the first or one of your early actions did after you hit rock bottom to start coming back on the upswing?
Yeah, I mean, my first is to obviously I stopped the marketing budget, reached a point where it was pointless pouring money down the drain. The cost of that was that I lost my website as well because it was on a platform that couldn't be shifted to my own hosting company. So the complete investment was, I cut my entire losses, but I still had a budget, and I used that budget to hire an abundance coach. And that was a key turning point because I think it's so important, not just with abundance, but with coaching in general, to have that relationship in place. Because the other aspect that one experiences when things go down the tube is the degree of isolation, fear, cut-offness, all of those things really amplify. So it's very, very important time to have a coach.
Yeah, wow, another golden nugget, folks. I mean, Dennis is just giving you epic value today, and I don't mean just in a bad way, but he's bringing it today. Dennis is bringing it. And it's like kind of the rock, just bring it. But it's epic, Dennis. And the interesting thing about what you just said is it's so counterintuitive. People would say, "I have a marketing budget. I no longer have a website. I need to spend the rest of my money on getting a website back up because if I don't have a website, nobody's going to find me." You took exactly the opposite approach and said, "Look, there's something else going on here that I need to change, and all the pretty websites in the world aren't going to help," which is kind of bad because one of the companies I own does is websites. So, but I'm a coach too, so we'll figure all that out. But no, the whole point is that most people would go for the pretty website first. You took the other route and went for the coaching. I congratulate you on it. Was there a thought process behind choosing the abundance coach versus doing more marketing and doing the website?
I think what's at the core of this is comparing the difference between the scarcity model on which traditional sales and marketing is built and an abundance model. So on the scarcity model, there's the whole competitive element, competing on price, et cetera, et cetera. But there's another part of it which is very, very undermining. And coaches are from Mars and marketers are from Pluto. And the impact of that is that many marketers, directly or indirectly, convince coaches that they don't have the words to convey their message, that the marketers do, so let the marketers speak for you. Now, what's absolutely critical about a coaching relationship is it's 100% authentic relationship between two individuals.
Yeah.
The only way of speaking is through your true voice. When you hire a marketer with fancy scripts, with enticements, with all these sorts of things, they're actually superimposing their voice on you. So that has a double effect. One, it means that you don't discover the empowerment of speaking through your own voice. But two, you lose self-confidence, you lose self-belief, you move increasingly into a negative mindset. And hey, guess what? The marketing doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it compounds the issue. So, it really is quite a fundamental one, that.
Yeah, amazing. And I'm laughing so hard because now at least you've explained one of the challenges I previously experienced when talking about, doing marketing and everything. Of course, I've got video content.agency, video content.marketing, got a lot of stuff. And we used to talk a lot about video content marketing, and we couldn't get at the beginning, we couldn't get the point through, and now I know why. When people heard marketing and marketer, and coaches especially, they thought what we were going to do is tell them what to say, And the way we built this company and what we do with all our clients is we give them an outline of how to put their thoughts on paper and then get it out. And we tell every client that they really have the voice inside of them. They know what their ideal client wants to hear the best, not us. So they should use that. Now, do we help tweak it a little bit? Sure, sure. We help give, maybe a little bit more powerful language here and there, but we don't impose our will and we don't do anything. So, man, Dennis, I am epically psyched right now because, you just explained explain something that's been on my mind for a long time. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so can I just respond with a bit of feedback?
Sure.
Where you're different from traditional marketing is you're communicating with the coach in their true voice and through your true voice in conversation. Mm-hmm. So the shift is from presentation to conversation. And that is absolutely critical. It's what you stand for, and it's what sets you apart.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Geez, folks, I should just wrap up the interview now. Dennis is giving you some great nuggets. He just gave me an epic compliment. I'm not sure where we go from here, but we still have another half hour. Plus, we've got to get into the expert focus. So let's slowly but surely kind of wind this all together and spend a little bit more time on the aftermath before we get there. I know you talked in the aftermath. I mean, you're a success now, and we're going to hear all about that success when we get to the expert focus segment and about how you can show people the 3 things they need to directly enroll clients abundantly. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But one of the other questions, I know there was some challenges. Is there any other challenge during the aftermath that sticks in your mind that you had to overcome to become the success that you are today?
I think the biggest challenge is handling negativity. We all slip into negative mindsets, and it's really crucial that we have ways of making that shift. I'm the kind of person who spent their life in a doubt culture, so all my education has actually been directed towards becoming a skeptic. So actually, it's quite a major shift for me to shift from negative critical mindset into a positive and abundant one. So at an immediately personal level, that involved me with certain meditation practices, getting into various spiritual fields, in addition to my business coach. I also have a spiritual guide who has developed very advanced meditation techniques, so who's introducing me more and more into that space. Since then, we've also formed a group called Group Blogging for Abundance with Friends. So there are 3 of us who are in that space. And again, blogs are conversational. So that's been very exciting. And they're very highly tuned people. So the community element is really, really important because of the isolation element. And in isolation, we're more likely to move into a negative space. Being out there and being in a community with fellow positive people is a very important part.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know that, I know I went through my own challenges, and I remember that isolation. I remember days when I would just pick up my foot off the couch, put it on the floor, and that would be the only cheer I would have, and I wouldn't talk to another human being for days or weeks at a time. This happened to be when I went through my divorce and everything else, so I can personally vouch for the fact of how nasty and terrible isolation is. If you're watching this episode right now, obviously in this moment you're not in isolation, but I invite you to think about your life as a whole and see if you spend any time in isolation that's unwanted. And what I mean by, sometimes we do just want to get away from people and we want to be by ourselves. But if you find yourself in that scenario when it's unwanted, even if there's no other reason to contact Dennis, which we'll give you away later, reach out and talk to Dennis, because he obviously knows a lot about how to come out of isolation. At least start to have a conversation with him around that and start to get connected to this guy. So we're going to wrap up the the hero's journey piece of today's show. You've heard how Dennis had a successful coaching business, decided that something else, something more was needed. It almost turned into a big tragedy, at least from a business standpoint. And what's come out of it is another beautifully successful, abundant business on the other side. We're going to take about a 60-second break. Stick around, and we'll be right back. And for those Toastmasters, you can stop counting my ums and ahs, because this is kind of live. At least it's recorded before a studio audience, and I like to say We'll be right back.
To watch the rest of this epic episode now, click on the link below the video. Do it now. You'll be glad you did. Are you still here? What are you waiting for? Watch the rest of this epic episode now by clicking on the link below the video.